Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Castle Lager Pirates Grand Challenge. This is round 15, brought to you live at Wits University. It's the Wits Stadium that will be hosting a clash of two titans. It's the two universities of Johannesburg, as Wits University go up against their noisy neighbors from down the road, UJ. A university that was founded over 100 years ago in 1992, hosts their neighbors from down the road, founded in 1966, and boy, are we ready for a huge clash between these two sides. Of course, a couple of results from last week. A really good performance there from first on the table, Randfontein, taking Rudaport down 73 points to 0, sitting 8th on the table at the moment. Or Rudaport, a fantastic clash between Wits and Pirates. UJ unfortunately going down to NWU last week, and a lovely clash there. Wanderers just going down to Raiders, 23 points to 36. So we can expect a good clash on our hands here between these two sides. Looking at the table there, as we mentioned, Randfontein, they look like they're in a really good stead for this competition. 3 games left for them. And of course, NWU chasing them down with only the 2 games to go, 4 points adrift. But it's Raiders, Pirates, Wits and Wanderers all fighting it out for spot number 3 and 4. Unfortunately, UJ out of the running. But as we know, in the Varsity Cup, UJ taking down Wits 49 points to 26. So might we see an upset right here tonight? And the initial fixture of this round of 15, UJ will want to upset the home side. There are the fixtures. We started off with Friday Night Lights, Wits hosting UJ. It's your game on screen right here today. And then tomorrow, an absolutely jam-packed day as we see Randfontein taking on Wanderers, Pirates take on Raiders, and NWU hosting Alberton. Promises to be an absolutely brilliant day of rugby. We know the Springboks are going head-to-head with Australia at lunchtime, so stick closer to your TV screens and, of course, to our YouTube channel. Lots of rugby on the cards. Looking forward to this one. It was quoted to be a 9 o'clock start, but, of course, all the theatrics as we see some supporters making their way into the ground, and there you see the 2 second teams that went head-to-head just before this, waiting for their first 15 to come out and put on a show here for everybody watching. You still have an opportunity to get yourself down to Wits Stadium and see one of Joburg's oldest derbies go down. The University of Witwatersrand hosting 40,000 students. There's some of them in the crowds, and 50,000 students from UJ, of course, making their way. It's an easy trip up here to 1 Jan Smuts Avenue at Wits University, and they'll be ready to enjoy a really good game as we wait and eagerly anticipate the Wits boys as well as the UJ boys as they look to make their way out the tunnel. The coaches will be saying their final words and bidding them a good 80 minutes as we await once more the University of Witwatersrand going up against UJ. Round 15 of the Castle Lager Pirates Grand Challenge, and it promises to be an absolute beauty. Few theatrics sitting on the log at the moment. Witwatersrand sitting at number 5. UJ sitting at number 7. Of course, they are out of it, so they've got nothing to lose in this game. They'll look to upset the home side. Yeah, the home side still searching for that semi-final position. Two more games for them. 3 more games for UJ as we see the visiting side making their way onto the park. You can hear some of the UJ supporters right there in the background, led by their captain, Siya Muleka Ndlovu. The number 8 for UJ will be looking to lead his side to a victory. Of course, had they lost every game this season and won this one, they would be more than happy. And now come out the home side, led by their skipper, Sichaba Mokwena, the number 12 for the boys in white today. And they'll be looking to carry on their momentum. They've had a really good season thus far, managing 7 out of their 12 wins this season, only managing the 5 losses Nice and positive start for them, managing 38 points in this competition. UJ, on the other hand, a very different story. 13 games, 4 wins, 9 losses, only the 25 points. But as we mentioned, it's Derby Day here at Wits University, and they'll be looking to cause a huge upset. Man in the middle, Christo Erasmus. He'll be looking to give us a nice quality game. The referee for tonight. As we look to get things underway. A slight delay in proceedings here, but we should be underway in just a bit. It's Rowie Malchas. He's got ball in hand at the moment, the number 10 for UJ. He'll be looking to be the engine room of everything that happens in this game, and away we go. High up into the night sky, and it's a really good challenge, that one by Pangel. Unfortunately, not managing to get ball in. Wits University, ball in hand, trying to create an angle inside their half, just outside the 22. Oakham gets his hands onto it and puts a box kick high into the night sky. Opportunity for UJ here to launch the counter attack, and that's exactly what they'll do. Space on the right-hand side, and can the boys in orange get it? It's really well fielded here by Wits University. Trying to get themselves out of a little bit of trouble, does Liema. And they'll have possession. Just a little bit of a knock there from University of Witwatersrand. Retaining possession of Wits University. First scrum of the evening here in Wits' direction, and these two packs of forwards will want to assert their dominance early on in this fixture. Good opportunity for the two packs to get together and possibly allow the back line to show exactly what they've got, giving them a little bit of space. And we'll reset that one. As referee Christo Erasmus looks to get stability in the scrum nice and early on in this game. Will be a battle of those two front rowers. As Klute and Kitonda go up against Holiday and Baker, the two props for either side. In it goes Oakham, looking for ball at the base of the ruck, under of the scrum, under penalty advantage, and that's exactly what they'll get. Good start here from the clever boys. Wits getting on top of the opposition. And they'll want to get some momentum, get some territory inside the UJ half. Kick nice and deep, just outside the 22. And what can Wits do from this position? Can they launch the attack? Or will UJ be able to absorb this early on in the game and shift momentum in their direction? Well fielded as they get it out to Oakham. Now through Peterson. Taken into the back line and just fumbled forward there by Kanenung. UJ now with possession. Looking to find a little bit of grass, and have they found it? Indeed they have. Bounce just behaving as Dweba looks to clear his line, and he gets his team just above the halfway mark. Wits would have wanted to use that opportunity early in the half. They got themselves a line out in a good position. Unfortunately, just not able to use it. And now the turn of UJ as they get it into their back line. Well worked into Ndlovu, gets the wraparound, and they've got numbers on the outside. Trying to attack the space down the left-hand side. A little bit sloppy, but Pangela still has the ball. Keeping it nice and short. Lovely work from the forwards as it's taken into contact by Pretorius. Into contact in midfield. Good quick ball once again from Bosch. Trying to find touch, but just not quite getting it. And now all of a sudden, Wits under a little bit of pressure. Counter-attack time as Lishoro gets it out to Malchus, who looks for some grass. And is this a little bit too heavy, or will the bounce be kind for him? And indeed, it is the first, and they'll go all the way to the 22 here. Just a little bit of pressure reprieve for Wits. UJ may have had an opportunity to attack the home side, but just kicking the ball away. We saw a little bit of it last week when they're not confident with ball in hand. They look to get a little bit of territory, and unfortunately their execution just didn't work out for them against the University of the Northwest. What can they do this time round? Lishoro puts it onto the boot once again. There's not too much pressure being applied here from UJ. And all of them offsides. Wanting to take it quickly here does Dweba. But referee Erasmus brings them all the way back. It's a penalty to Wits. Once again, they can get themselves into a really good position from here. Desmond Peterson, the number 10 for the home side, manages to get that one just inside the 22, it seems. Just outside, rather, it seems. And he won't be too happy with that kick. It was in a really good position to get his team nice and deep into the 22. But they'll settle for this one. A little bit of miscommunication from Wits, and a needless turnover there. An unforced error for the home side. Gives possession straight back to UJ. And it looks like they've opted for the line out here, have UJ. Just trying to get the space. There's referee Erasmus. And UJ looks like they've set up a pod just off their number 10, Malchus, trying to create the angle. Tries the steal, and they get it successfully, do Wits, and now all of a sudden a bit of pressure as Matlena takes it into contact. A little bit sloppy here inside the 22, and UJ will want to clear their lines from here. Good kick out there from Rowie Malchus. Back into the Wits half, and now looking for the counter-attack. Tackled in the air, all is good, says the referee, as they carry on down the left-hand side. Once more into contact go Wits. Looking for the wraparound through their skipper. They get it out to Peterson. The playmaker for the Wits side gets himself up to the 22. No support. He was looking for the offload, deciding to take it into contact. Matlena once again into contact. As Mokoena finds Majolwin. The big prop forward, taking up number 9 duties, but takes it into contact. Matlena managing to break past and gets himself just outside the 22 now. Trying to evade a couple of tackles there does Ginanung. Gous. And it's a penalty there to UJ. It's a really good defense, finding themselves a little bit isolated, do Wits University. And a turnover once again. They get themselves into the 22 for the second time in the first 8 minutes. And unfortunately, just not managing to come away with any points. That's a really good kick out there from Lishoro. The number 15, you can't miss him there with the colorful scrum cap. Gets himself just outside the 22. Of course, someone you can trust. Hashtag counts on Castle. You can always count on Castle to bring you the action, the vibe, and care to the community as they bring us this Pirates Grand Challenge. We'll go for another scrum down here inside the UJ half. A little bit scrappy start to this game thus far. It's been a long season for both of these sides. Of course, competing in the Varsity Cup earlier on this year. USA in July, and of course the Castle Lager Pirates Grand Challenge for a majority of this year, making their way to the back end of the season. 4 games left rather in the log stages for Wits University, and just the 3 for UJ. After that, they fight for a spot in the semi-finals, and of course looking for a final to complete the season. UJ now, ball in hand, and they get it out to Malchus. Taken into the contact goes Pulsar. Under penalty advantage, they can play with a little bit of freedom, and Malchus trying to slip his way out of a couple of tackles. Good bit of explosive running there from the number 10, and talking about explosive running, go UJ through a couple of tackles. And they've been really quiet in this half, have UJ, but just coming alive there through Rowie Malchus, trying to step his way out of a couple of tackles. He does so successfully, but eventually taken down as Leshoro kicks this one into the crowd. And now, do UJ have the momentum going forward? Josh Dallasere with the throw. He'll want to make sure to hit his jumper. They go for the long throw, and it's a little bit of a knock there as Wits get back on possession, looking for a little bit of grass. It's well fielded from Leshoro. Steps one, steps twice, beats a tackler. And penalty, just finding himself a little bit isolated, does Gumi Leshoro. And gives Wits a penalty in a really good position, just inside the UJ half. A good angle here to find the 22. Desmond Peterson will want to get this one nice and deep inside the UJ 22. And he struck that one really nicely there as Desmond Peterson. In a good position are Wits. Muwese goes long, and just a little bit of an early jump, it seems, is the call there from the referee. And once again, UJ just being given a get out of jail free card. Such good entrances into the 22 from Wits University, and the execution just not there this time round once more. And UJ clearing their lines once again there from Rowie Malchus. So good boot there from the UJ number 10, taking all the pressure off his side, getting them just above the halfway. Wits with the throw, and it's well collected as it gets to Peterson. Into contact now from Wits, driving the legs to get themselves a bit of momentum. Oakham gets it out to Sechaba, who puts it onto the boot, and just looking for the touchline there, trying to put UJ under pressure. And they've done really well. A couple of mistakes here from the travelling side. And working out really nicely there for Wits University. They've got themselves a scrum down just outside the 5. We'll have a look at this once again there. Good work here from the captain, Mukwena. Just putting UJ under a world of pressure there. Finds himself isolated, tries to get rid of the ball, and there's the mistake inside the touch area from their number 14, Pangela. Really good position here for Wits University. They haven't managed to use these entrances into the 22 to their advantage. But can they take some points out this time round? Oakham into the scrum, and they look to break off, and now does Kanenung. Going short once again, go Wits. Devonish doesn't quite find the try line. It's another break, and in a really good position, but well defended once again there from UJ. Under penalty advantage with Wits, and they'll have another shot here, do Wits. Looks like a call of scrum down. Indeed, it is there. Very confident is Kelvin Kenenungu, calling the scrum down straight away. And he wants to take the UJ forwards right to task. Game slowing right down here. Wits will want to use this opportunity on the 5-yard. Will it be the forwards who pick and go and attack the try line? Or will they use their flair from their back line? Okam put the put in, and he decides it's backline ball this time as Captain Mokoena takes it to the try line. Okamp wants ball. Trying to go under the try line as Gous gets it out to Dweba. Steps back onto the inside, does Chirwa, and they'll get their first try of the day. Lovely work here from the home side. They were really patient there, and the supporters absolutely loving it, working it through their back line. And Ko and Chwewa doing the hard work on the left-hand side. Let's have another look at this. Okamp managing to get it out to Henk Hosu. Lovely hands there from the big number 7, Dweba. He gets it out to Chwera, and he's not going to miss out on that opportunity. Absolutely lovely work there from Wits University to get themselves their first try in this game. And we mentioned a little bit earlier, they hadn't taken their opportunities when they got themselves into the 22. But this time round, they were really confident with this one. Peterson strikes it well, and straight over the upright it goes to make it a full 7 points here for the home side. Lovely strike from Desmond Peterson. Takes his team up to 7 points to 0, and that's exactly the start that Wits would have wanted. UJ are going to have to get themselves right back into this game, trying to compete from the restart. But it's Wits ball outside the 22 as they look to run it through Matulueni. Mokoena offloads it, and now it's an opportunity for the try scorer as he steps back onto the inside. Doesn't manage to retain it, but Wits do have ball in hand, and it looks like UJ might have just stolen it. Lovely work there from Ndlovu. The UJ skipper doing some hard yards there to maintain possession. Out to the back, and they'll look for the clearance. It's been taken from outside the 22, so looking for a bit of grass. What will Wits do here? Tries to put it on the goose step, does Dweba. Loses out, and there's a double knock on there. Good opportunity there from Wits University. They wanted the counter-attack, but unfortunately, Dweba not managing to retain possession. As this game starts to hot up here in the first half, we're starting to see some action from both of these two sides. It looks like they want to play with ball in hand. We saw a lot of kicking from UJ last week, but this time round, trying to give the supporters something to shout about in the crowd. They've made it down here to a late kickoff. It's a chilly evening there in the stands, but they'll be treated to some really good rugby between these two universities. Of course, if you're from Joburg, your alliance either sits with the Kurus or it sits with UJ. guarantee most of the supporters will be Wits University supporters, watching their boys represent them here on a chilly Friday night in the Castle Lager Pirates Grand Challenge. They haven't had too much to shout about, have Wits University, coming 5th in the Varsity Cup and of course sitting 5th now in the Castle Lager Pirates Grand Challenge. A semi-final spot here will be a good step forward for the side. But I'm sure UJ will want to have something to say about that. Bosch with the put in and looks for a quick ball out to Malchus. Show and go for Malchus, and we've seen this electrifying pace already in this evening. And you don't want to be giving him too much space. Rowie Malchus, he's got a turn of pace, does the number 10 from UJ. Unfortunately, the execution on that one not quite up to standard. Trying to find Mafinyana on the right-hand side. Just doesn't manage to get ball to hand. And once again, execution is going to be so important here for UJ. They want to get themselves back into this game as early as possible. Just the 7 points separating the two sides at the moment. Okamp with the put in. Allowing his forwards some time to dominate, and here goes Henk Hoos. It's a lovely put down there, but unfortunately just losing it in contact as Hoos. UJ now on the right hand side, giving their supporters something to shout about. And an unforced error there from UJ gives the possession back to Wits. And we're starting to see glimpses of excitement here from the boys in orange. Showing a little bit of flair, but execution just not on their side in this first 20 minutes of the game. Another scrum down here, just above midfield. Wits with the put in. Just looking to reset here is referee Christo Erasmus. Of course, it's always a good battle between the two front rowers come scrum time. Which one of them will come out the more dominant of the two here? It's looking stable. Out to the back line they go, and it's Mokwena once again who wraps it around. They've got a lot of space down this right-hand side. Just keeping it in field here, Wits. And it looks like a little bit of a knock-in contact. They had some good space on the right-hand side, but just running out a little bit. UJ using that touch line as an extra defender. Just keeping themselves in this game so far, all the boys in orange. Timio Lusel on that right-hand side, the speedster for Wits. He'll want to get himself onto the scoreboard. We saw his partner in time, Chirwa, get the opening try of this game. UJ scrum down, just shy of the 10-meter line. They'll want to get out of their half, and it's a really good scrum there from Wits. Time to launch the counter-attack as they go forward through Majolweni. Trying to find some space down the left-hand side. Peterson tackled inside the 22. Okamp finds Gous. The battering ramp goes forward. It's carried really well so far as Gous. As Kwitonda takes it into contact. Okamp looking for a little bit of space, only to find Majolweni. Down the left-hand side, trying to find a little bit of space, and tackles broken this time round as Kwitonda once again gets some go-forward ball. Matlena gets closer to that try line. And a penalty here to Wits University, and look at the position. 5 yards out, underneath the poles. Opportunity to split that back line, or they can go toe to toe, forwards to forwards, and they've decided to go for that scrum down. They've scrummed really well so far in this first 25 minutes, and they'll look to continue that dominance right underneath the poles. UJ will have to be really careful from this position not to concede a penalty try. See there, the forwards just getting into a huddle, chatting about how they're going to defend this one. It's been all Wits at the moment from scrum time. Looking to continue their dominance. They've split their back line, but it looks like Peterson has lined up down the left-hand side. You can see on screen there, Dweba on the right. Okamp with a decision to make. And he decides left to Peterson. All the way out, and it's a lovely hit there from UJ. Majolweni not managing to get any momentum forward. Looks like a turnover here from UJ. It's well defended. And indeed it is. Offside is the call there from referee Christo Erasmus. And it must be said, UJ have defended brilliantly in this first half. As the two players get to know each other there. Just a little bit of argy-bargy as the rights to the Kings of Joburg go down here for 80 minutes on your screens.
King.
Will it be Wits or will it be UJ?
Have you found Dylan? Who? What does he say? King,
and Christo Erasmus here just trying to take control on the game.
King,
just chatting to the two captains here. Making sure that we bring this game right back to cool heads. It's been a lot of stop-starts in this game, but of course Christo Erasmus, the man in the middle, just making sure that he's got full control of this game, making sure not to lose it at any stage. And he's done really well here to keep the two sides apart. 7 points is what separates us on a beautiful Friday night here at Wits Stadium. It's a good kick there from Rowie Malchus. Once again managing to clear the lines for his side. Dalasier looking to find his jumper, indeed he does, and UJ looking to launch the attack as they step back onto the inside, well defended by the home side. Bosch trying to get to the ball, but it's been turned over from Wits University. And now they'll want to attack as Mokoena finds Majolweni. Just not getting ball to hand that time round once again. A sloppy start from both of these sides at the moment. as they just look to play some expansive rugby through their backlines. And unfortunately, the wingers haven't got the service that they would have wanted in this game. Dalasier goes for the long ball, and it's a really good ball from the hooker, giving his backline a launch pad to go as Malchas gets it all the way out to Leshuru. Space down the right-hand side and just running out of it. Well defended once again here. Wits University will be looking to keep that score to 0 points for UJ. UJ yet to get a quality entrance into the Wits 22. Opportunity for the two front rowers to meet once again. Kluter versus Baker, Holiday versus Quitonda, Mwesi versus Dalasier. It's been all of it so far in this first half as we go into the last 10 minutes. That one just popping out the tunnel, and we'll try that again. It's been a tough day at the office for these forwards at scrum time. Hasn't been the smoothest going. As we see on this near side, Quitonda going up against Vuyo Holiday. Okam put the put in. Just inside the UJ half, and it's a collapse, but will allow it to play as Wits look to go forward once again through Mokwena. Majolweni into contact. And it's a scrum advantage for the Knockers. Once again, they take it into contact to Wits. Looks like George Devonish this time round as Peterson finds Mokwena. It's a lovely little offload there to Dwebo, who puts it onto the boot. Might have done well just to keep ball in hand there, Lindani Dweba, as they see the turnover. Moyo into contact, and it's a penalty to UJ. They'll look to take it quickly. Bosch, we saw a lot of this from him last week as he offloads. Sloppy stuff here at the moment, and we'll just go back to the penalty. UJ possibly getting out of that one unscathed. Not 10 is the call there from Christo Erasmus. Good presence of mind there from Bosch to play it quickly and catch UJ off guard as we see Gumi Leshuru taking over kicking duties. Casalaga, the taste that stood the test of time here, supporting club rugby all around the country. As UJ look to go forward, it's a lovely ball there, but adjudicated to have been slightly forward. And Ndlovu might have thought that he was all the way through. Of course, it's not only the Pirates Grand Challenge, the Carlton Cup and the Moore Murray Cup down in KZN, all sponsored by Casalaga. And no wonder we've got such a fantastic rugby structure in this country when our club rugby is so well supported. We've got these two university sides building the grassroots for professional rugby. A lot of the youngsters being breeded through UJ, Wits, and of course Pucker. Either making their way into the Golden Lion side or one of the senior clubs. As Okam finds Peterson and Mokwena once again, the second receiver for UJ. Makes the tackle and Wits taking it into contact. It's good run there by Matlena. Rush defense on there from UJ and Okam deciding to hold on to it. Keeping it nice and short. Mokwena once again into contact. The captain with plenty of carrying duties in this game so far. Devonish going down the blind side. Duvitz finding a little bit of grass, and it's Lushuru this time who clears his lines. It's good work there by the number 15 from UJ, just keeping nice and cool under pressure. It gets a touch there from UJ, from Wits rather, so UJ retain possession. Dalasia finds his jumper, looking for a little bit of space now. Trying to find space as Malchus. Bosch all the way back out to Malchus, and he's been really exciting in this game. Back in possession is the UJ number 10. It's well fielded, and now Wits with the opportunity to go forward onto the boot, and they may have done well holding on to that one. Majolweni still in possession as he cuts back onto the inside. He might find himself isolated, but there come the cavalry to his aid. And just a little bit of a knock in contact, says the referee. And helter-skelter stuff here at the moment from both of these sides. Rowie Malchus for UJ has been absolutely brilliant, the number 10, but unfortunately just hasn't been supported. And of course the Chaba Mokwena, the number 12, the skipper for Wits, he's carried so well, he's looked to offload in the contact, and he's been pivotal for his side as the second receiver. As we get some running repairs here, it gives both teams the opportunity to take on board some fluids. Of course, in inverted commas there, the water boys will get some information onto the field as we see what looks like Gabriel Solomon's warming up on the sideline. He'll want to make an impact onto this game. Substitution might not be required here. Scrum down, just outside the 22. Back to the action we go. It's a split scrum here from the back line. Wits up to the task. UJ will be looking to clear their lines or at least create some kind of an angle. It's Bosch looking to the base of that scrum. Manages to find Lushuru. Olusel gets it into Dweba. Dweba launches the counter attack. It's a big hit in midfield. Oakham out to Peterson, and it looks like we might well have a penalty here. Just the scrum down is the call from the referee. And UJ find themselves now in a good position inside the Wits half. Unforced error from the home side. 7 points is the game at the moment. They don't have much of a bed to rest on. As we mentioned, the last time these two sides went head to head, UJ managing to steal that one, 49 points to 26 in the Varsity Cup. Can they upset the home side once again here at UJ at Wits Stadium? Referee Erasmus once again trying to find some stability in the scrums. Holiday, Dalasia and Baker have been put under immense pressure here for UJ. Flutter, USA and Kitonda seem to have got the dominance at scrum time at the moment. They'll look to continue it going into the half-time break. As we hear the crowd now starting to find their voice. UJ looking to launch an attack through Malchus, and that's a lovely line being run there from Pelser. Onto the blind side, taken in by Moyo. Walter Moyo, the late addition to the side, trying to make his impact on the game. Tries to find the cross kick and it won't be fielded, still in play, but just manages to bounce its way out. And for the first time in this game, we've seen UJ trying to launch the attack. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the half-time break. 7-0 is the score here at Wits Stadium, as the crowd support their two sides here, starting to build up. It's a lovely atmosphere here as we go into the half-time break. Don't go too far away. 7-0 is the score. Wits University in the ascendancy. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the action. It's Wits University that go up against their noisy neighbors, the University of Johannesburg. 7-0 is the score, and no, that's not a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Just the one try in the first half from number 11, Chirwa, of course, converted from Peterson. It's been a really well-contested game so far. As you see, both of these sides are looking to get back to the action. It's Wits that want to extend this lead, and of course UJ who want to cause an upset in this game. These two sides at the moment sitting 5th and 7th on the table respectively. Wits University with an opportunity to make it to the knockout stages of this competition. Of course, too far gone at the moment for UJ, but it's all about pride in the Johannesburg University derby. The crowd has come here in their numbers. They've managed to find their voice, and away we go through the boot of Desmond Peterson as he allows for a contestable kick on the right-hand side there. It's fielded by UJ, who look to create the angle. A fend off there, he fends too often. Oh goodness, what a good show of strength there from UJ. They would have got a hard talking to from their coaches as they put it onto the boot and allow Wits to launch the counter attack through Dweba. A little bit of ping pong at the moment as Malchus looks for space, and that looks like a really good kick from the number 10. He's kicked well all evening long, and Rowie Malchus gets his team into a good position here. They've got an opportunity to put Wits under a little bit of pressure now to UJ. It's been all Wits in the first half so far. Can UJ turn proceedings around, or will it be Wits, the home side, who managed to extend this lead as the throw is good out to Peterson? Mokwena, the second receiver, gets it all the way to Mainkies. We haven't seen too much of Thomas Mainkies so far, and that's a massive hit. Lovely strength from UJ, but it's still Wits University on the ball. Gous is carried well as the number 7 from Wits. Okam into contact there through Matlena. Okam puts it into the night sky, and there's going to be a lot of pressure here. Contact in the air, but the referee allows it to play, and we'll go all the way back. It's a nasty collision there in the air, and the medics getting onto the field really quickly here. Contest in the air. It was there for both of the players to compete. The referee and his linesman will have an opportunity just to converse about it, but I think just a rugby injury here. See both players there just being stabilized by the medics. Of course, safety first. We'll have another look at this one. It's in the air there from Okam, and you can see there all eyes on the ball and contact in the air, and if anything, I think the way both of those players fell might have been what caused a bit of shock for both of them. It looks like from a Wits point of view, Madrelani makes his way to his feet. Just a little bit groggy at the moment, but he seems like he wants to carry on. We do see on the side here Nkomo, number 22 for Wits, just warming up. He's got his jump on, but it looks like he's making his way back to the bench. Madrelani will want to carry on here. Looks like we'll have a scrum down here for what seems to have been a knock forward there in the air. Both players seemingly all right, which is what we always want to see, a big collision in the air there, rugby related. Both players had only eyes on the ball. We see a scrum down here. It looks like Wits University on the ball through Okamp. He'll let his forwards do their thing for the time being. They're under penalty advantage. And will come back for the penalty here. Wits University in a really good position. Just between the 22 and the 10. And it looks like they'll have their first shot at goal here. Desmond Peterson, who's kicked 1 from 1 at the moment, with a kick from a relatively simple position. It does have a little bit of distance on it. Roughly 35 yards out here. He had good distance on his first kick. Lining this one up does Peterson. Steps back, strikes it well, strikes it clean and strikes it straight. Lovely work there from Desmond Peterson, adding the additional 3 points for his side here and getting his team up to 10 points to 0. And now UJ with all the work to do. They need to strike twice if they want to get themselves back into this game. As we hear the crowd finding their voice. Contest there, UJ competing nicely in the air there, and it seems they've got possession. It's been turned over now by Wits as they go down the blind side, gaining a little bit of momentum. Another turnover here for UJ, and we'll go all the way back for the penalty. Wits University ball, and UJ would have thought that they got themselves into a good position there, but wasn't to be, says referee Christo Erasmus, and gives Desmond Peterson an opportunity to get some distance here for his side. Just above halfway they go. The number 10, of course, Desmond Peterson, he's been the pivot for everything his side's done so far, as the line out manages to gain some momentum. Okamp finds Peterson, who looks to unleash his backline. Mokwena into contact once again. We've seen that so often in this game. Okamp finds Dweba, gets it out to Gous. Gous in an interesting position out wide there, tries the offload. And isn't the case. He's been run out into touch, says the referee. But he's been an absolute wrecking ball. You can see him on screen there. Henk Gous, the number 7 from Wits, has looked to run with ball in hand so often in this game, take on defenders. And not only does he have power, he's got some real pace, does the open side flanker. As UJ looking to get outside their 22. Isn't the case here. Looks like a seatbelt tackle, but isn't the case, says the referee. Bosch digging for the ball. The quality of distribution wasn't quite there, but it's good work there from Rowie Malgas to clear his lines once again. And he really has been a standout player in this game as Wits look to play it quickly. A little bit of speed here for Wits. Try scorer Chirwa takes it in nice and short there for Matlena. Still in possession of it. Peterson steps his way into trouble, takes 2 to take him down, and that's a fantastic steal there from Marius Kutsia. Malgas puts on the gas and he's beaten a couple of tacklers. Does he have the speed to go all the way? Malgas puts it onto the boot, and the chase was indeed on, and a big hit inside the 22 from UJ. He really has been a breath of fresh air here, the number 10 from UJ. Every time he's got hold of the ball, he's created some space. His distribution's been good. And he's put a firecracker up the UJ team every time he's managed to get hold of the ball. Dalasia with the throw, he manages to find Pretorius, and it looks like it's a little bit skew there from the former King Edward's hooker. And you don't want to be giving away possession in positions like this, especially when you find yourself 10 points astray. UJ need to strike early on in the second half. Yet another scrum down in this game. It's been a struggle for the front rowers at the moment. Haven't quite managed to stabilize that scrum down as much as they would want to. Referee Christo Erasmus has had to step in and have a chat with the front rowers on numerous occasions. Will we get the scrum round first time round? Indeed we do. Pick and go goes Wits. Bounces his way past the tackler. Shrugs his way past another. It's taken 4 people to take down the number 6 Kananungu. And a penalty there. Lovely work there by Calvin Kananungu, who manages to get himself through a couple of tacklers and win his side a penalty. Gives the opportunity to Desmond Peterson to find some distance, and this one looks like it's just outside the 22, between the 22 and the 10-meter mark. Can Wits get another score here? The line out's good. Into the back line we go as Mokwena into contact. He's not scared to take contact as the skipper. Machulweni breaks past and gets the offload, and lovely defending there from UJ, it must be said. You can see the AR here on the near side, raises his flags, and beautiful work from the opposition side. UJ, what looked like almost definite try from Dweba. He thought he was in here on the left-hand side, but wasn't to be for the fullback. Fantastic defense. And it's really well worked there. It's good work down the left-hand side from Wits, creating some space out of nothing, getting it out to Lindani Dweba, and unfortunately just running out of space. Will get things back underway here through Josh Dalasia. He needs to make sure that they retain possession from this line out. They decide to go long, high risk, high reward, and now go UJ from their own try line, trying to create a little bit of space. The clearance is on from Malchus. This time doesn't manage to get the distance he would have wanted to. But getting it out, which is what matters, just above the 22. Wits find themselves in a really good position here. Possession retained, and here they go. In with the back line. It's Mokwena once again who offloads it in the tackle. Oakham managing to find Devonish. Penalty to the away side here. It's well defended once again. And Wits just don't seem to have the answers when they get inside that 22. The UJ forwards doing a really good job here to isolate the runner and steal ball. Getting 2 tacklers to the breakdown. 1 to make the tackle and 1 to make the steal. And once again, a good clearance from that man, Rowie Malchus. He was missing in action last week against NWU, but he's back in action and making a difference for his side. Could he be the difference for this UJ side? Or do Wits have the answers? They look to compete. And Malchus gets it in, and look at the line there. Unfortunately, doesn't go to hand. Wanza would have thought he was through, but now the home side in possession. Oakham, Peterson, Mokwena, all the way out to Gous. He might as well wear the number 11 jumper, Will Henk Gous. But he's been isolated there at the breakdown, and once again UJ getting 2 men to the breakdown, 1 to tackle and 1 to steal. And you can see the high fives all around there from the boys in orange. It's a really good defensive effort as Gumi Lashuru takes over kicking duties for his side. And it must be said he might have been able to get a little bit more distance on that one, but they'll settle for possession. Mwesi goes long, Dalasia goes long, into more formation. Can they get some go forward here? UJ, it's been brought to ground, and now under penalty advantage, they need to strike. No real advantage, says the referee. And now it's important for UJ to get themselves into the 22 of the home side and really put them under pressure. We've seen the boot of Malchus has been really good, and he might well have mistouched this time round. Wits on the attack. Peterson steps onto the inside. It's Chirwa rather, try scorer from the first half and sole try scorer in this game. Guitonda drops a shoulder and gets some momentum. Oakham into the air. Contest, that one's been knocked forward. It's chaos here at the moment, and penalty to Wits, who look to take it quickly but won't be allowed to by Christo Erasmus. Beautiful to see Casalaga getting on board here, not only supporting the Pirates Grand Challenge, but the Carlton Cup in Pretoria, as well as the Murray Cup in KZN. Base of South African rugby looking really good at the moment. And this time round, touch has been found inside the 22 for Wits. And this is a really good position for the home side. Roughly 8 yards out. Break and play here for the referees to have a little bit of a chat. And we'll get right back to the action here. Wits in a commanding position so far. 10 points is the game. UJ haven't had an answer to the Wits defense so far. And in we go for the maul. We've seen this so often in South African rugby. Trying to get momentum. There it is on the left-hand side. Dagan at the end of that maul. It's got momentum. It's into the 5-yard now. And there it goes, a big rolling maul for Wits University. They get over the try line, and it's a really well-worked try for the boys in white. They'll absolutely love that one. They would have trained that multiple times at the training ground throughout the week. And it looks like Dagan, the hooker, who's managed to get over. You can see him right there at the end of the maul. And just bundling over. Once it gets that kind of momentum from that kind of distance, there's absolutely no stopping that maul. And that's the second try for the boys in white. And it's not an easy kick here for Peterson. He's got 2 from 2 at the moment. Can he make it 3? It's not an easy one, but he's made it look really, really easy here. Absolutely slots that one down the middle. Desmond Peterson with a fantastic kick from the left-hand sideline. Gets his team up to 17 points to 0, and all of a sudden, Wits University seem to be finding their feet and seem to be taking this game away from their noisy neighbors. As the restart gets back underway into the night sky, it's well fielded from Kutsia. Okamp looking for his forwards, they retain possession. Just outside the 22, onto the box kick now. Pressure being applied here, and the pressure working out for Wits University, forcing the knock-on UJ. And that's lovely work here from the home side, and the home supporters loving it even more. Henrich Okamp putting that one on the boot and forcing an error here from UJ. And all of a sudden, Wits get themselves another 30 yards. He puts that one into the night sky, and you can see there just a little bit too much time to think about it. He tries to take it in the air, does Berwin Bosch, and unfortunately possibly taking his eyes off the ball at the final hour and handing possession back to Wits University. Will want to strike here against the run of play. Okamp put the put in. It's a good scrum here from Wits. Use it as the call from the referee, and that's what they'll do as Peterson gets it all the way out to Mokwena, and Dweber now, he's got the feet. Does he need support? And he steps back onto the inside the 5. Not held in the tackle is the call. And a big run here from Wits University, and look at the defensive work there. But now under penalty advantage, Peterson. They've got lots of space on the right-hand side, and it's Kenanungu on the right-hand side, goes over for the try. It's well worked from the home side, giving their supporters something to shout about. And Kelvin Kenanungu, he's been a big part of this game. He's taken contact really well, but this time round, finds space on the outside. They were under penalty advantage. Wits playing the scrum off, says the referee. And look at the urgency here. Gets it out to Kelvin Kenanungu. And given that much space, you're not going to stop it. And oh, do we not love to see a swan dive from a flanker? He would have been practicing that one all season. And finally, he gets the opportunity for the swan dive in front of the home support. Three from 3 as it stands here for Desmond Peterson. We saw him make light work of the previous conversion. This one no easier. The charge down is on. The strike is good, and goodness gracious me, does this boy have his kicking boots on today. 4 from 4 is his tally, and it seems like he can kick it from anywhere on the field. Desmond Peterson taking the score up to 24 points to 0. And UJ need to get back into this game. They need some points on the board. They need some momentum. They need a bit of magic. Retain possession to the home side. We've seen Okamp put it onto the boot already. He does it once more. Into the night sky, and this time Bosch hesitant to collect that one in the air. And a little knock on there from the home side. And you can see there Berwin Bosch just thinking about taking that one in the air a little bit too many times. He fumbled the one previous to this one. And this time round deciding against contesting for it in the air. The right decision was made from the scrummy. His team now finds himself in possession. UJ have to strike now. 16 minutes left in this game. They won't be happy with leaving a Johannesburg derby with 0 points on the board. And that's a massive scrum from Wits. The absolute monster of a scrum, but it will be a penalty to UJ. They take it quickly, does Bosch. Malchus. He's been pivotal in this game for UJ so far. Unfortunately, not reaping any rewards as Captain Ndlovu into contact, loses it forward. Peterson. This time round, Peterson rather puts it onto the boot, and has he forced an error? It's well collected by UJ. Good step from Malchus. Trying to create something onto the outside. The fend-off is good, but really good defensive work there from Mokoena. Making sure that UJ get absolutely no go-forward ball through Pangela on the left-hand side. They need some kind of momentum, and they're going to get it through Rowie Malchus. The number 10 for UJ has been absolutely phenomenal, but just hasn't been supported in his endeavours going forward. Needs the support of his centres to get to the tackle line as quickly as possible and possibly allow for the offload. Wits ball. Trying to find some space now, Oakham. Still in possession. Peterson fulfills the number 9 duties. And look at the break here. Tries for the offload. And just a little bit of a knock forward there from Wits. And once again, another error by these two sides. Just when they gain a little bit of momentum, the errors are absolutely rife, as we see bottom of screen there. Marimo making his way onto the field, the number 16 for UJ, bringing on some fresh legs for the visiting side. Can he make a difference in this game? That's exactly what he'll want to do. We'll have another break and play. Just gives these two sides an opportunity to onboard some liquids. Marimo on the field for UJ, as well as Gutu. Gutu, the number 20 for UJ. Marimo, the number 16, make their way onto the field, adding that element of freshness to the travelling side. Bosch with the put-in. He'll want quick ball here, and that's what he'll get as he tries to go down the right-hand side. 50-22 is on here for UJ. Unfortunately, not quite making its way to the touchline. And a 22 dropout is all they'll get here. Wits back in possession. Just a little bit too deep there from the number 10, Rowie Malchus. Looking for that 50-22, didn't quite have the direction. As Peterson kicks it long. It's a really good kick there, managing just to force UJ back, and they'll play it nice and quickly. Trying to find some space down the left-hand side. Malchus, the pivot of the side, only manages to find Oakham. Whistle's gone here, penalty to UJ. All the way back onto the halfway line. It looks like offside was the call from the referee, or rather no arms in the tackle Just leaving a shoulder behind does the Wits defense. And a good kick here from Leshoro. Gets it into the 22, their first real visit of the half. As we'll see now, the tall figure of Munnery making his way onto the field, the number 19 for Wits, right-hand side of screen. He replaces George Devonish, who's had a really good game. He's been really good at line-out time. He's taken the ball into contact. He's carried really well so far. And his contribution for the evening is well done. "11 minutes left in this game. UJ 24 points off the score. They haven't managed to get themselves onto the scorecard yet in this evening match. Wits have been dominant in this encounter, much to the displeasure of the UJ supporters. Ocamp letting his forwards do their thing as he gets quick ball out to Mokoena. Lovely pressure there by Majolwen. But UJ on the attack. Malchus looking for some space. Doesn't quite manage to find Nkomo. And the turnover's on now as Dweba. Trying to retain possession. That's exactly what they do. Out onto the left-hand side, and look at the speed here. Unfortunately, not able to hold on to that one does Kenenungu. He thought he was A for away there, but just losing it in the contact there. Kelvin Kanenungu displeased with himself. He thought he had his second one of the encounter. Wasn't to be. As we see a change in scrum off here, Koopman makes his way onto the field for Berwin Bosch. Berwin Bosch will play no further part in this game, as Conley Koopman, the number 23 for UJ, replaces him for this final 9 minutes of the game. First involvement for Koopman. Looking for the 8-9 move to UJ, but only managed the turnover as Peterson, dancing his way through a couple of tackles, gets himself up to the 22. Still on the 22 of Wits, in possession. Quitonda gets driven back in the tackle. Ocamp finds Dweba, who looks for a bit of grass, and Malchus trying to find some grass. It's well fielded by Lindine Dweba. Looking for some space, but doesn't find it. Only going back into contact, and now Mokoena. It's the captain, Sechaba Mokoena, who beats a couple of tackles and manages to find the big number 7, Gous, who himself puts in a big dive. Oh, it's lovely work here from the home side. It took the vision of Captain Sechaba Mokoena to break through a couple of tackles. And have a look at this. The first receiver goose-steps his way past 2 tackles, and once he gets himself into that position, offloads it to Henk Gous, who puts in the dive. Lovely to see there from the big flanker. He's carried so well in this game, taken the contact when he needs to, and now gets his just reward late on in this game. Beautiful combination. As Peterson has arguably his easiest kick of the evening. 4 from 4 so far. And he'll indeed make it 5 from 5. Lovely kicking display here from Desmond Peterson. He's been phenomenal from the boot so far. And he carries on to take that consistency into the game. You can count on him. Hashtag count on Castle. You can always count on Castle to bring you the action, the vibe, and care for the community. And that's exactly what they've done with this university fixture. Brought the two universities together to celebrate this lovely Friday night action. As we see Muniri taking that one in the air. Contest, and it's a lovely kick there. Well worked by Machuleni. Ocamp finds Peterson. Into Captain Mokoena. It's a good kick, only manages to find Leshoro, who himself puts on the counter-attack. Wits now on the ball. It's a big hit there in midfield, but they've still got possession. Mokoena down the right-hand side, puts in the step. Lovely footwork here from the captain. They would have thought they were home clean there. Hayden Munnery finds himself a little bit of space, but the referee calling the game back. Dagan just in a little bit of pain, but the referee allowing it to play. It looks like they're playing with 14 men at the moment of Wits. As we see a sloppy wraparound ball there, they're still in possession though. Looking to turn it over. Turn it over, they do Wits. Now down this left-hand side is Gous. Finds Machuleni, who cuts back onto the inside. And it's a lovely try there from the number 13, and an even better swan dive. Beautiful work here from the home side, who have absolutely looked to dominate the second half. They started really well, and they're finishing this game even better. Liema Machuleni with a lovely bit of individual work. It goes here from Ocamp into Gous. And once Machuleni gets into this position, he steps inside twice. And watch the swan dive. Oh, he's absolutely loving it. 5 points for the outside centre. And Peterson with yet another simple kick here. 5 out of 5 for the evening. And can you believe it? He makes it 600% kick rate at the moment for the Flyer. Beautiful work for Desmond Peterson. 5 conversions and a penalty to take his side up to 38 points to 0. 7-0 at halftime has escalated here for the University of Johannesburg. And they need to save a little bit of face in the last 2 minutes of this game. As Ocamp puts it onto a boot. Allowing for the contest, but it's really well taken there from Gumi Leshoro. Penalty to UJ. They'll take it quickly, says Ngabini. Lovely footwork here from Malchus. Steps onto the left-hand side, and the execution just isn't there from the UJ Flyer. They'll have a second opportunity here. Penalty all the way back to the 10-meter line. Not 10 is the call from the referee. And Rowie Malchus, who's been the standout performer here for UJ, once again lighting it up when he gets ball in hand. And just so unfortunate not to get any reward. And this time Leshoro missing out on touch as the counter-attack is on here for UJ. Wits rather. Keeping it nice and short in with their forwards. Halope takes it into contact. Leshoro with the contest. He gets an opportunity to break through. He's got numbers on the outside, but decides to take it into contact. Solomon's in the number 9 role. As Malchas, guess who it is? He loves it with ball in hand. Ripped out of possession though, and now Quitonda into contact. Onto the boot, and watch the contest down the right-hand side. He's under a little bit of pressure as Leshoro. But we'll go back for the 22 dropout. It's good work there by Leshoro, managing to dart it down. He had Olusul chasing him down from the right-hand side. We haven't seen too much of the number 14 flyer from Wits, but he could have announced himself in the game with that one. The referee just conferring there, and it looks like a penalty will be awarded to UJ. No arms in the tackle is the call. And Malchas will have the responsibility of clearing the lines here. Sacrifices distance for precision. They get themselves just outside the 22 as we await the final hooter in this game. A dominant display from Wits University. But can UJ get the last say in this game? They retain possession. Steps 1, steps 2, gets himself above the 22. UJ into contact once more. Backwards is the call from the referee as Cookman takes that one into contact. Leshoro taking up the number 9 jersey, and guess who it is? Malchas trying to find some space. He finds Pangela. And Wits just appealing for the interference there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be all she wrote. It was a dominant display of rugby from Wits University, managing to get the upper hand on their crosstown rivals. 38 points to 0, not a point on the board for UJ. In round 15 of the Castle Lager, Pirates a grand challenge. It's been an absolute pleasure having you right here. And don't forget, plenty of action to come in the coming weeks. This was round 15. Another 3 rounds to go in this competition. It's been an absolute pleasure right here from Wits Stadium.